Hi, fellow humans.
I don't think your prisoner trick is going to work this time.
It didn't work the first time.
I told you that was the oldest one in the book.
Is that the only way back?
The one and only.
Okay, look, I've got an idea. I'll go out there and distract them. They shouldn't recognize me with this disguise on. At least, not right away. While they're distracted, you sneak out. Take all the isodesium with you.
But what if they realize you're not one of them? Are you sure that...
I'll be fine. Trust me.
Hey, Monroe. Last one there's a Denebian slime devil.
Hello, fellow evil humans. It's me,
The captain sent me down
your
to check things out.
friend.
Really? I didn't hear anything from the captain about this.
Oh.
You know, the captain who sits in the chair in the sewer room?
Sent me down here to tell you in person.
Tell us what.
That I'm coming?
I don't think I've seen you before.
Who?
Oh, finally someone catches on.
There's an intruder disguised as one of us with a woman. They killed the captain. Capture them at all costs.
Kill her! Surrender or
Jump animation. Alright, well, they're all dead.
Video games have gotten better at that, if nothing else. Of, like,
Yeah.
making sure that if you're going to be placed in the situation where, like, you're about to maybe sacrifice yourself, it feels... The ensuing fight feels appropriately challenging, and not just
Also,
three
I don't
clicks
know
of
if
a
you were,
mouse.
like, paying too close attention to our character model, but, like, the
Who's there?
torso joint there looked really weird without any cloth on it.
Whoa, wait a second.
Oh yeah, this is the part where we try to talk down the guy who's obviously going to be a boss fight, and he says, nah.
exemplary. You shall make a challenging prey.
Look, there's no need for this. Can't we just...
It's like the Tron outfit got Guyvered.
Oh yeah, it's bad. That's from Voyager. Like, Voyager did that. Come here, damn it. So, this is one of only, like, really 2 real boss fights in the game. He has this gun that really hurts you, but it overheats after a while, and then he has to stop firing it, and then you hit him and do enough damage to him, and he'll turn on his invincibility shield. Then you do that about 10 more times, and he dies. Come on. Fortunately, it can't penetrate this metal grate flooring.
It's, this feels like baby's first cheese.
Yeah.
Like, this is how most boss fights are done in Destiny 1.
True. But it's like the whole room is designed so you cheese him. Like, you're not actually... Like, look. It really hurts you really fast if you're running from it. Like, look at that shit. So...
Oh my god.
Like, you're supposed to be taking cover. And at no point does he ever jump down from the 2nd floor, so...
He's not a very good hunter.
There we go. No.
You are the victor.
Hold still. I might be able to get a medic.
No. You.
So we got that nice grenade launcher, but now we're about to get the minigun, so...
Great honor.
There's really not much point.
What is happening?
Video
Shucked it.
games.
Open this door.
So... now we kind of get the catharsis of running back through the start of this level, but like everybody's attacking us, so we get to fight them.
Okay, that's actually a cool decision. I mean, it's not a very Star Trek decision, but it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so the grenade
Oh my
launcher is now
God.
obsolete.
Oh my god.
Take your time.
Oh, and the alt fire on this fires bouncy balls. So I can shoot at people around corners and fuck them up.
I am getting strong, What is that? Does that remind me of Daikatana for some reason?
I don't know. I never played that. Come on.
All of these guns feel like just the lamest, goofiest freaking thing.
This guy's got a knife.
Like, well, but that's the thing, is like, Klingon weapons are also really goofy, but like, they're imbued with enough world building and lore that it's like, that, I don't know the names of them, but like all the famous Klingon weapons, like,
The
people,
batleth.
yeah, like, people think they're cool because they have like a history behind them, even if they're kind of ridiculous. This doesn't have any history behind it, it's just a big green pew-pew machine.
Yep. Oh no! The Borg are here, and they're really mad. And also they got Fosters, so that sucks, I guess. Also, they took the isodesium, so they basically just made a delivery to the Borg.
So does this
Borg
mean
have
the
accepted
Foster,
your DoorDash order.
are we gonna,
He's
is he
dead.
gonna become a Borg? Do we have to fight him?
Or to beam back.
Is Bowl
Actually, I
Cut,
think
is
if
Bowl
he-
Cut guy dead? Does he die either way?
No, the other guy who was with Foster, you know, hanging out playing, like, guy over the headset got killed by the Borg. Because they were just like, ah, fuck you, and stabbed him.
Wait, so if that guy dies and Foster gets taken, and then the other two people die if you don't play stealthily, it's like you and one other person coming back.
Basically, yeah.
I guess that's what we're seeing here, which is how they can
Yeah,
do
the other ones went to sickbay.
Pattern enhancers, they must have been able to beam in.
They took Foster and the
Well, but like, or if they're dead, they just don't show up. So either way.
They were in and out before we could even react.
Ms. Murphy, you are dismissed.
Oh yeah, Tuvok is very unhappy about the way we just handled ourselves.
Taking the isodesium?
Sir, I didn't want to take the chance that I might hit Foster.
That is a chance you should have taken, Ms. Monroe.
What?
There is such a thing as acceptable losses. Had you fired, it is likely that the Borg would not have the...
Tuvok's great at positive reinforcement.
Foster might be dead.
Possibly. But your emotional decision may have cost the lives of every member of this crew. Perhaps
Tuvok find his way home.
Prepare a full report. I will summon you when we...
I love little Nani.
Get to see the part of the transporter room we're never allowed to see.
That broom closet.
Yep.
I think that's just where the cameras go.
Man, this sucks.
Okay, so here's a question. If you could go to any... So I was watching one of the 90s vlog... Or 90s, one of the theme park vloggers I normally watch, and they can't go to theme parks right now because the theme parks are closed, so they ended up going to this pop-up in Orlando that has a scene from Friends and a scene from that 70s show that you can go and take selfies in or whatever. And I was thinking, what TV show would you like to see yourself on the set of if you could get pictures of like a recreation of a set? And my argument was the bridge of or the engineering room of the Next Generation. What do you think of that?
I'd say that's a pretty good one.
I would like to throw in that I have done the Great Canadian Pilgrimage to Vulcan, Alberta, where you can take pictures in like a Star Trek style set. So I've done that. It's not as exciting as they make it out to be in the brochures, let me tell you, but it is pretty cool.
Is it the original generation or Next Generation set?
It's not really much of any particular set.
I've been working on 7.
But it's like a space area.
Should be ready for field use pretty soon.
Yeah, I went to Star Trek The Experience several times back when it was still a thing. And they had a recreation of the bridge there.
Sir, am I interrupting something?
The problem I ran into with like the That 70s Show and Friends sets is that like I don't watched those shows enough to know what the sets look like. So
Right.
it just felt like
And they're-
90s shit or whatever.
Right, it's just like houses and stuff. Like, it's not that interesting.
And I also had to sort of exclude, like, obviously some TV shows are set in real world locations. Like, you can't just say New York for Law and Order, and you can't just say Hawaii for Lost, right? Like, it needs to be a set that you can reproduce. And I still can't think of anything better on TV than Star Trek.
Mitch, one thing I don't understand, why would the Borg take Foster and the isodesium in the first place?
Who knows? I just hope we can get them back.
Yeah, why would the Borg want to assimilate someone who might have information about what's going on and take this valuable resource that can be used to generate power? Gee, I don't know. Have we done it all? Did I miss a conversation in here?
So,
Liz.
what is the ethics of taking the isodesium, though? Like, is that something that the Federation should do?
I mean, Voyager does shit like this all the time, so...
I'm just saying, like, okay, you're stranded in this time vortex, space vortex that's eating your engines and you can't go anywhere. And then there's this colony of people that have this material and they don't know how to use it, but they're unwilling to trade. And so your solution is to break in stealthily and steal it. Now, you don't intend to hurt anybody, but you are taking something that isn't yours in order to escape and leave them behind.
Murder at least 3 people in cold blood with the pumps.
And that's just the pumps. That's not including, like, Mustache Beard Captain.
Look,
Which you have to kill him.
none of us saw it coming. We couldn't have done anything.
I know.
Tuvok to Monroe. Report to Astrometrics immediately.
So, initially when this game came out, they didn't have Jerry Ryan available to do Seven's voice, so there was some other stand-in voice actress, and she did not sound particularly like 7 of 9.
Foster's alive.
But I think in the most recent patch, they ended up patching Jerry Ryan's lines into it, read by Jerry Ryan, so initially this whole next segment and mission was kind of awkward.
Hi, y'all, I'm part Borg.
It wasn't that bad, although you did just remind me that the English dub of Ghost in the Shell has the Major with like a Southern American accent, which is really weird.
I take it you know Seven and Ensign Kim.
Seven and I were going over the Ethereum's data, and we've located a Borg cube here in the dampening field with us.
The vessel appears to be heavily damaged.
Monroe, you and the hazard team are going to beam over there and get back the isodesium.
And Foster?
Ensign, we're not even sure he's still alive, but if it's possible to rescue him, then yes.
Janeway's got better hair than us.
But the isodesium is of the highest
Yes, I'm not a huge fan of Alexandria's hair, to be honest.
And Ensign, you are now officially in command of the hazard team.
Yes, sir.
Seven has prepared a plan of action.
This is why you always let your superior officer get kidnapped, because you get an instant promotion.
Yeah, the real answer to that is like, well, I could have saved him or saved the isodesium, but I wanted to make sure that I got a promotion.
We do not wish to alert the Borg. The beam-in point is in an area of low importance. There is also an assimilation chamber en route. It is possible that Lieutenant Foster is as yet unassimilated and being held there.
So that's a shot in the dark.
So, okay, here's another dumb question of mine. How big are Borg cubes? They're smaller than a Death Star, but they're still much larger than the Enterprise, right? Like they're like basically like 5 Manhattans stacked on top of each other, right? Like they're huge.
Yeah, it's somewhere between like 3 and 5 kilometers per side. Like they're pretty big.
Ms. Monroe, I trust your performance will surpass your previous efforts.
Yep, thanks, Tuvok. Always love talking with you.
You know, Tuvok gives off strong Zavala energy in terms of just being kind of
a
static downer that just sort of like, well, you disappointed me, but...
We beam straight back here. Any questions?
He's definitely like the worst thing. God.
This isn't a
He's a Vulcan, right?
Vulcan. He's the worst Vulcan. He has no redeeming quality.
Yeah, it's kind of remarkable how little Voyager manages to actually develop its characters.
Is ready for field testing. If the Borg turn nasty, we'll be more than ready for them.
It is unwise to underestimate the Borg.
The only thing
So
I can
Seven has
name
her
is,
own model that's unique from the rest of the female models that wear hazard suits.
Yeah.
Upset about Ken and Foster, but killing
Just in case you forget that Jerry Ryan was sexy.
I need cool heads. You're gonna have to learn to control yourself before I can assign you to another mission. Dismissed.
But like, she didn't even want to be dressed like that in the show, did she? Because she kept trying to advocate for costume
No,
changes,
it was
and
very much
they
a
wouldn't
we need sex appeal. Yeah, it was. Again, Voyager was a pretty conservative show. This could be my refrain for this whole damn series.
I mean, I could picture a version of the 7 of 9 character that's still like really kind of messed up looking and Borgy and could be really interesting.
Oh yeah,
and they
that would have been
don't,
cooler.
They lean into the opposite of that, where it's like she's basically a super sexy alien lady that has a little bit of an eye patch thing, and that's it, and that's all that's left.
Yeah, one of her hands has a little exoskeleton glove kind of thing on it.
Especially because we've already seen so many Borg characters like in the series, and none of them look like that at all.
Yeah, the half unassimilated Picard didn't look like that.
Or the little Borg child that they adopted.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's a Borg child? Jesus.
Actually, there are several.
That's actually like the first interaction with the Borg, and that's why Picard kind of sympathizes with them, is because they like have this child which they don't want to kill because it's a child, but it's also a Borg. And they learn about the Borg through the child as it grows up, because it grows up real fast. And then they have to choose to let it go back to the family at the end, or kill it. Or whatever, or infect it with the virus. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
they decide whether or not to infect it with a virus to send back to the collective.
They were gonna implant in his memory a shape that cannot exist in reality, and the Borg would keep trying to analyze the shape and flip out, and apparently like there was no such thing as parallel computing in the Borg or anything like that. It's like their whole idea was to just basically like use that to just overload the entire collective consciousness and have it just constantly thinking about this one fucking shape. And that was definitely gonna work. Alright, so we're kind of at time here. I think we'll do a little Borg fight here, and then
So we don't have the gun that doesn't exist, right? Like we got that gun.
No, this is this is what I'm doing. That's this.
But we got that in a holodeck sequence. It's not a real gun.
No, it's a real gun. But the holodeck sequence was like a training session for it.
Okay, but so why are we training to steal it if we already have it?
Look, it's Foster. We have to save him.
Because you would want to train how to use the special gun against the Borg, against fake holodeck Borg, before you actually have to do it against real Borg.
Okay, but then why don't we start our mission where everybody's got this gun, and then therefore they're all good against the Borg, and we just go kill all the Borg? Why did we need an elaborate training method of going in to steal it, using it for 10 minutes, and then having Tuvok come in and yell at us for not being good enough?
I mean, you know, it's possible that could happen. You could be stuck against the Borg without the iMod. Damn it. Okay, so this is a timed segment. If I get there fast enough, I save him. Otherwise, he dies.
And he's dead.
Come on.
Almost done. Monroe to Voyager. I found Foster.
Kablamo!
Beam up. Good work.
So we got him. Foster's saved. I'm sure he will appear again in this video game. He doesn't appear again in this video game. All the people that you rescue that can die are basically assumed to have died for the purposes of, like, having them show up in missions again, because otherwise they'd have to do a lot of extra work. So Foster was saved, but he isn't going to be back in command, and we're never going to see him again.
Right now, Janeway's having a very uncomfortable conversation that he no longer has his job.
Sorry, we filled your position. I was gone for like 3 minutes.
It's not like Janeway doesn't have a lot of uncomfortable conversations throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
She kills him because it was important for him to be dead for some very specific reason. Alright, well, next time on Spoiler Warning talks about Star Trek Voyager way too much, we will finish this Borg mission, which is, again, not the stealth level, despite that making sense.
Wait, what? Didn't we just do that?
Yeah, well,
that's what he said.
We were talking before about how it would make sense for there to be like a stealth level with the Borg where you'd have to be very careful about waking them up. You couldn't shoot them too much. Oh, what's back here? Ah, great. Awesome. Well, I don't know what that was about.
Any level is a stealth level if you try.
Yeah.